Hello and welcome to the Graphics Profiles, the official podcast of Graphics Pro and Graphics Pro Expo, covering the graphics market online, in print, and in person. I'm your host, Regan Dickinson. Our guest for episode 46 is Jeremy Picker, CEO and Creative Director at Amber Creative in Denver, Colorado. Jeremy is a contributor to Graphics Pro, where he shares his expertise in custom design, apparel decoration, and promotional products. Jeremy's all about creating promotional apparel and products that drive brand awareness and revenue. But before we learn about the methods behind his madness, here's a quick word from our sponsor, ASI.
ASI helps graphics professionals expand their businesses to sell logoed promotional products as an added revenue stream. Your customers are already buying promotional products. Shouldn't they be buying them from you? ASI can help you get started in this $23 billion industry, selling items like mugs, bags, and hats to schools, coffee shops, realtors, and more. To learn more, visit joinasi.com/GP.
And we're back with Jeremy Picker of Amber Creative. Tell me how you describe Amber Creative to prospects, kind of the elevator pitch, if you will, because I noticed in your description, you say that we solve creative problems with fashionable answers. That's a nice little pitch there. So can you explore that a little bit for me?
We really are trying to niche ourselves in the space where we're very hands-on. We're very customer centric. We know what the trends are. And we can design for any style. And so we've gone through a lot of customers, in the last 10 years. We used to be very heavy on religious organizations. And then now we're kind of spread out, amongst different demographics and just kind of really at the point, like we're selecting our clients, which is kind of nice, Can
you give me an example of solving a creative problem with a fashionable solution?
Yeah. So in the whole life cycle of why people are creating merchandise, most in our industry, we stop when we deliver the product, but that's not the end of the life cycle for the customer. They're either making their merchandise, to give away, to build their brand, to create awareness, to acquire new customers, to drive sales. Those are the goals that they should be, and again, it starts with asking questions because I don't know what their problem is. They have to kind of tell me that, but right. I do that through asking the right questions. And so being able to come up with what is the end goal? Why are you creating this product? Just because you need it for, uniform? Well, that's one approach, but asking them, because a lot of the times they don't know it. So when I'm asking, a potential customer or even a current customer, I'm saying, who is the last person that is going to touch this merchandise? Is it for giveaway or is it for sale? Is it in conjunction with any of your other marketing campaigns? And a lot of people are like, no, because they see merchandise as kind of a separate entity versus it should be part of a marketing campaign. And more than any other marketing medium, this can actually go with that person throughout time. We just want to say, what does your merchandise line look like? How is it being displayed? Let's say we have 3 t-shirts, 2 hoodies, a hat, a beanie, a backpack, a journal, a sticker pack, and enamel pins. Cool. So we know going into that, let's focus on that. And instead of most processes of being, I'll like it when I see it, we try to reverse engineer to say, all right, let's start with the end in mind. If it's for retail, let's establish price points and then work ourselves backwards to create that. That way we're designing for the medium, we're designing for the budget. And we know, again, all the ins and outs of how it's going to be distributed. So we start with that line plan. We establish a color story. We usually pair the company's brand colors, but then we bring in some fresh on trend colors. Again, what is their audience seeing in retail? Even though their company might be different, the people that are supporting them they're going to the same places to buy their clothes, Forever 21, Nordstrom's, PacSun, whatever it might be. So we try to bring in some seasonal colors. All because your brand colors are lime green doesn't mean you need a lime green shirt. So how can we pick what's a color that would work well in this season, and then bring in either inks or woven labels that have your brand colors, not necessarily, well, we're lime green, so we better have lime green shirts. Again, no one will wear it after that event, or if they have to, for a uniform. And so the third thing is we kind of find out who their audience and style is. We try to divert from just doing the company logo. Now, a company corporate logo, it's the foundation of merchandise for a company. Everyone needs it. It brings uniformity. It's professional. But why are people going to wear merchandise? They don't necessarily want to be a billboard for you all because they like your brand. Let's look at the lifestyle and focus on, why are they purchasing these things at the mall? What brands are they? Are they, is it activewear and Lululemon and Athleta and all these, athleisure brands, or is it more streetwear focused? And so we try to establish their, I call it vibe. And so they know their customer. I know the marketplace. Again, it comes down to asking questions, taking a few minutes on the front end to dive in and dig a little more instead of just design on a shirt. How can we elevate the design? Obviously, again, budget comes in mind, but what is going to make that person wear that garment over and over again? You don't have to go crazy out of budget, but spicing things up a little bit is what we like to do, and looking at these brands. So once we pair all that, then we go to concept sketches. We don't go straight to digital because we've learned the hard way. When we do that, they end up saying, nope, I don't like it because it's too concrete. There's nothing to the imagination. It is what it is when you see it digitally. The reason we like concept sketches, one, they're quicker to do. So my artist can, do 2 or 3 concepts. And we usually include a bad concept just to kind of, subliminally push them into the direction we think is going to be best. Yeah. And then they like it. And then we go to digital, and that's where we do all the magic and textures and, making it apparel or product ready. And then from there, once we've established the design, that's where we'll start to develop and help them pick the right product. Maybe one shirt, you do a nice tri-blend shirt with just a little one color tonal print with the woven clip label. And then the hoodie could be, an acid wash with a felt applique. And, that one is going to warrant a higher price point. But again, it's that longevity that we're trying to think about, that shelf life, especially if you're giving this away. You want them to wear it, and you want them to wear it more than if they're, spending their money. At least in the transaction of retail, you're getting their money. If they don't wear it beyond that, then, you at least got one part of the transaction, but the goal should be getting people to wear it over and over and over again. It's that cost per impression. The more they wear it, the more eyes are on your brand out in the marketplace.
What is the range of products that y'all offer? And I kind of want to lead this into, and maybe you can answer both questions at the same time. Yeah. Kind of the range of products. Plus, obviously, as you put a package together for somebody, you're talking about, a soft good like a t-shirt. Again, maybe something like a water bottle or some different pens. Who knows what the products are? But they have to translate across those different products as well. And I'm just curious about your thinking about that.
Yeah. So when I started Amber, me and my business partner back then, we wanted to offer only 20% of products out there. My education back then was tchotchkes. We didn't want to sell tchotchkes. So we wanted to sell 20% of products, which for us was t-shirts and hoodies. That's kind of all we focused on. But we wanted to offer all the decoration techniques possible with that, versus, hey, we have 1 million products and you can get a one color logo slap. And, there's really no thought to go into that. Maybe some thought. You still have to pick the items, but we didn't want to be that. We wanted to focus on, specialty inks, applique. And so before I started my business, I toured with bands for 10 years, selling merch on the road. When I got off the road, I was working at a company that did a lot of the sampling for Abercrombie and Hollister and American Eagle back in the day when they actually did the sewn on letters and all the, really cool specialty techniques. I went to my business partner. We were both from the band world. And he's like, hey man, I have this business idea. I just need someone passionate about the apparel side like you. And so we teamed up and we're like, we're going to offer, custom dyes, cut and sew, oversized discharge ink, all the specialty stuff, finishing, and really focus on that. Well, that was great. We grew really fast when we started, and we started in the recession of 2008. So it was, I went in, I had no business experience other than, managing money for these bands, but I was so blind of starting a business in a recession. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah. But, again, we were young and passionate. So we didn't really care. And as we were progressing, we would see all of our clients have all these other items, water bottles, backpacks, really nice jackets, all kinds of promotional apparel are promotional products. And so I still didn't want to do it because I knew apparel. I knew, fabrics and screen printing and all of that. But I interviewed a sales guy one time, maybe 8 years ago. And in the interview, he asked me about ad specialties, and I had no idea what he was talking about. He's like, yeah, you can, have access to, millions of products. And I was intrigued. And so I was really all right, how do I do this? Cause I see my customers are doing it. They already trust me for their apparel. Maybe I can learn more about it. And so I got a membership, and, I was like, now I know why I've been losing all of these bids and quotes for promotional products, because I didn't have a real source. I was just going to someone locally, but they were marketing the product up 40% from what they got it for. And then I was trying to mark it up. So I was basically pricing myself out of business. Once I found that and paid all the, associated fees, promo just started building and building. And in 2020, we did more in promo than we did in apparel. First time in 12 years. And there's actually more margin and more revenue to be had with promotional products, I think, than apparel.
And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor, ASI.
Looking for your next sales opportunity? Promo products like logoed t-shirts, hats, mugs, and bags make up a $23 billion industry. You already have your customer's logo, so maximize that revenue potential. ASI can help you learn how to sell these products as an added revenue stream for your business. Learn more at joinasi.com/GP.
I'm here with Jeremy Picker, CEO and Creative Director at Amber Creative in Denver, Colorado. One of the things that you mentioned was that you stay on top of the trends, and I'm curious as to what are you seeing right now? What are the trends right now that you're capitalizing on?
I'm 44, but I feel like I'm pretty aware of pop culture and try to, keep my pulse on it. And so, a lot of the things that I'm seeing, especially on TikTok, all the DIY, people kind of like the handcrafted, do it yourself. And it's nice for viewing, but, I guarantee most of those kids that are doing it, you reach a ceiling. You can't mass produce this stuff. And some of them, that's fine, but it's hard. You can only charge so much for, your handmade garments. And so we're trying to see, these hand-drawn, hand kind of DIY design aesthetic, and how can we translate that into mass-produced merchandise. So again, no matter what I like, whatever Angelo, my designer, likes, whatever Joe, my head of production likes, it only matters at the end of the day what the client's client likes. And so that's why, we're trying to create our own approach to it. So right now we're doing some R&D with stalls. We're working with ZSK, embroidery machines to use our design and creativity and knowledge of decoration and then pairing it with their products and services. So there's a lot of things that we're going to create for ourselves, and then hopefully our clients, pick up on it. If not, we're still having our creative fulfillment. But then part of what we want to do long term is help other people in our industry make better merchandise, think about it differently, come more on a design approach versus just sourcing, because anyone can get a t-shirt made. No one really is special in that regard anymore. There's millions of places online and local that you can get your merchandise made. So again, what's going to be the differentiator over time? I think what we're trying to do is speak our voice of this is what we're seeing in the design space, in fashion. How do we pare it down to our clients? They can be corporate, but still have a lifestyle brand. Most of our customers in our industry, merchandise isn't their core product. They have a core product, and then they use merchandise to support that. And so getting people to, I guess, get out of that widget mentality of just, time to make the donuts and, not thinking about it, to now you can't do it to everyone, but focusing on, let's say, your top 20 clients, and how can you go deeper with them? How can you help them be more successful? Have you gone to their live events to see how they're displaying the merchandise, handing out the merchandise? Are they doing anything interactive?
Right. I'm on, what are some unique promotional products you found that are particularly successful?
I think it ebbs and flows. I think drinkware is a staple that everyone should be offering. And if a screen printer or, anyone that's doing graphics, I know you guys do wide format and all of the other kind of decoration lasers and stuff.
Sublimation, sure.
Yeah, everything out there. If you're not offering drinkware has been the number one category for us for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
People use it way more than they'll wear a t-shirt, wear a hat, wear a hoodie. They'll use it every day. I think drinkware, if you're not offering drinkware, you're missing out on a good chunk of revenue because your customers are already ordering it. They're just not ordering it from you. If you're not part of Ad Specialties, find a local promotional products distributor and come up with a deal. Say, hey, can you help us facilitate some drinkware? Hopefully they would give you a discounted price so you can mark it up, but you don't even have to be part, a promotional products distributor to do it, but you should be offering it. Kind of a trending product now. We're doing a lot of Crocs charms for shoes. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, I don't think so. I haven't.
But that's the name brand for Crocs internal, but there's generic options that are the same thing. So basically all the little holes in the Crocs, you make these rubber PVC, almost like a little icon, and it has a little tap backer that you just pop it into those holes. And so it's a way for people to showcase things that they like or match, their garment, or, it could just be like references of like the things that they like. So that product has been crushing it lately. We do merchandise for SiriusXM and all of their podcasts, and people that doesn't even seem like it's their audience, they're ordering these things because they're just selling like hotcakes. They're lower cost. So, you're not charging, a $30 t-shirt. You're looking at maybe a $10 to $15 price point, but the margins are great. And it's very social sharing worthy. So those have been exciting. I think bags, and not just like your tote bags or backpacks, but the crossover bags, the hip bags, or a lot of people call them flight bags. There's even for men, rocking it where it's just a crossbody. It has just a little pouch that you can fit a handful of things in, using sewing on a patch or, direct embroidery. It's been a great little product that we've been seeing. And then, I think it's just really understanding the marketplace and that's where you can save yourself a lot of time, knowing your audience, knowing your client's audience. That way, you know where to go to get some inspiration. Again, people don't do a lot of the promotional products. One, they don't have a knowledge of them, but then also they don't think about having that lower cost item, giving them a lower cost option to support you that can still, again, build your brand. It could be $8 enamel pin pack, but then they put that pin pack on their backpack and then you're going everywhere with them versus that $30 t-shirt they might wear once every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So while I love the apparel side, those promotional products are actually getting more impressions, more views, and, can be better at building brand than just wearables.
Okay. Well, you know what the music means. Our time is up.
Yep.
I really appreciate your time today. I would like to bring you back for a second podcast, maybe delve into some of these subjects a little bit more thoroughly.
Sure. I'd love to. As you can tell, I like talking about merchandise, and, it's my hobby and my career. So I don't ever get away with it, but it brings me joy. And, my goal is to help others find joy in what we do. It's more than just polluting the earth with bad products. It's, how can we make an impact doing what we're doing?
And I appreciate that. Thanks again.
All right. Have a great one.
You too. And thanks again to our guest, Jeremy Picker, and to our sponsor, ASI. Look for Amber Creative at amb3r.com. So the 3 is like a backwards E, Amber, right? And ASI at joinasi.com. If you're looking for perspectives, education, tips, tricks, news, videos, and more, all focused on your business and connecting you to experts in the field who are your peers, suppliers, and manufacturers, go to graphics-pro.com. And for convenient regional events catering to graphics professionals across America, check out graphics-pro-expo.com. You can find this podcast at your favorite platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or SoundCloud. You can also browse the archives at graphics-pro.com. Thanks for listening, and until next time, adios, amigos.